One of them is Brother Akeem Bey. He couldn't be here. He was going to try to be here. But he's going to be making a few, or actually he's going to be delivering some statements, written statements around, but that's why he'll have that available, right? As far as his progress up in the Syracuse area, upstate New York. Also want to give thanks to a brother in Jersey, in Canada, New Jersey, by the name of Sharif Bey. Puts out excellent literature under the name Moorish Order of the Round Table. Excellent literature. You can get your hands on any of this stuff, I suggest you do. Also thanks to a brother who recently made transition. His name is Brother Johnson Bey, out of Cleveland, Ohio. It's the man that nationalized myself and one of my other close friends. And he was with the Moorish Circle of Mothers and Sons of Cleveland, Ohio. He was a direct personal student under Charles Mosley Bey, also known as C.M. Bey.
So since we have C.M. Bey stuff, let's see for a second here now. Okay. So let's see. Article 2, Zodiac Constitution, Birthright of the Moorish American. The L's, the Bays and L's. All you people who see a Bays talking to right now. Right? Since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Carta document of white supremacy and the 9 judges of the Supreme Court were founded upon our Moorish Zodiac 12 signs mathematical constitution, the lawmakers have no jurisdiction over the free Moors, the Bays and L's, in the inherent land of the Moorish nation, namely USA, Canada, Central and South America. The Moorish American nationality and their surnames Bey and L are their inherited birthrights without a legal due process of the lawmakers of the Union Society, USA. What our Moorish forefathers were, we are today, without a doubt or contradiction. That's directly quoted Noble Drew Ali. So he's directly quoting Noble Drew Ali in Zodiac Constitution.
You. Because he hates that guy. Every time he goes to court, that guy blows his doors off. He looks like a fool. You give the guy a ticket. Now he's got to go to court. So sure enough, we go to court. Come up before the court. Judge starts operating like a prosecutor. He starts asking me all kind of discovery question. I call it as soon as they call the case. Now this is something important you got to understand. You're going to be your own attorney, then you got to know all of the programming. When you hear him call your case, you get off your tail feather and you run right up there as quick and as expediently as possible without knocking anybody down, and you say, "Ready, Your Honor." You state your appearance. I'm so-and-so, hearing before this honorable court. I am standing as my own counsel. In my state, it's under Article 1, Section 13. I've appointed myself my own attorney, and I'm ready to proceed with my administrative and procedural matters. And at this time, Your Honor, may it please the court, I motion for dismissal with prejudice, failure to state a cause of action for which relief can be granted. Bingo! Now, I apologize if I'm talking too fast. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit, but when you're in court as much as I am, you just learn. You either talk fast or you lose. So I apologize if I'm going a little too fast. I'm going to slow down. I'm trying to make it easier for you folks, okay? But the judge bips off right away. "Well, you got a ticket on such and such." I said, "Whoa, Your Honor." I said, "Are you the judge, the disinterested third party that's trying this case? The trier of fact?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I said, "Is this the prosecutor over here to my right?" He said, "Yeah, that's him." I said, "Okay." I said, "Are you going to prosecute this case, Your Honor?" He said, No, I'm the judge." I said, "Then why are you asking discovery questions?" "Well, I just want to find out what's going on." I says, "Isn't that his job over there? That's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to present his case as the prosecutor, trier of the case. You're the trier of fact, he's the trier of the case." I said, "If you're going to operate as the judge and the prosecutor, I'm going to object on the record as a mistrial." He said, "Okay, I'll let you enter that on the record. Go ahead." I said, "Okay, let it be entered on the record as an appealable issue." He said, "Okay." He said, "Now it's on the record." He said, "Let me ask you this. You get a ticket on September the 30th? I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, let me ask you this. Do you have any plates on your car?" I says, "No, sir. And I don't intend to get any." And now, of course, all the people in the court, "Oh, this guy's going to jail. Watch this. This is going to be good." He says to me, he says, "I assume you have a very good reason for that." And I said, "Yes, sir," and I shut up. I waited. He said, "Can I hear it?" I said, well, Your Honor, I said, I'm an unfranchised common law free man. I'm not a participant in any tontine schemes of limited liability on a joint venture for profit with an insurable interest requiring me to participate in these corporate Ponzi schemes. I'm just a little Joe from Kokomo. I live on the block. I travel at the common law. And I have a right to travel freely and unencumbered pursuant to Shapiro versus Thompson, and that right is so basic it doesn't even need to be mentioned. The state of Michigan arbitrarily and erroneously converted my right into a privilege and issued a license plate and a fee for it. Murdoch versus Pennsylvania says no state may convert a secured liberty into a privilege and issue a license and a fee for it. And if they do, Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham, Alabama says I can ignore the license and engage in the right with impunity. That means you can't punish me. Since I have relied on previous decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court and on constitutional defenses, I have a perfect defense for willfulness. I am immune to the prosecution. Therefore, prosecution counsel does not have a cause of action for which relief can be granted. I'd motion for dismissal with prejudice for failure to state a cause of action for which relief can be granted, and I'd kind of like to collect my costs and fees for having to defend this frivolous case. The judge starts reading the ticket. Told officer he'd just been waiting to get this ticket so he could fight it and beat it all the way to the Supreme Court. He laughed. He says, motion granted, and he ran off the bench before I could get my damages. So I went out in the hall. He went to the can. I waited for him. He came out of the can. I served him with my papers. He said, you didn't have to do that. I said, well, I didn't want you to be inconvenienced, Judge. He said, okay. He signed. I went back in the court as a casual thing just to see what kind of reaction would happen, and I sat down. About 2 cases later, this elderly gentleman gets up, and he stands up there, and he says, Your Honor, I'm not quite as knowledgeable as that young gentleman that was here just 2 cases ago, and I don't presume to understand all of the issues that he raised. But it really sounded good to me, and I'd kind of like to ditto everything he said on top of my case. Everybody broke out laughing. The judge says, all right, how many guys here didn't have no plates on their car? About 5 guys raised their hand. He says, okay, everybody dismissed. Get the hell out of here. And everybody broke out laughing. It was like, you know, at the carnival on Christmas or something, you know, it was a carnival atmosphere. So I'm telling you, you can affect change. And see, they had all figured, they said, watch this guy's going to jail. And then all of a sudden, boom, out jumped, and I mean, I'm telling you, it's this little book right here, this book. You know what's in this book, you have power. Knowledge is power. You know what's in this book, and you know how to exercise your rights in a timely fashion. You have constitutional rights.
Yeah, but if you like a copy of that, you can have a copy, so that way you can just write the travel.
I need to read up on this so I know.
Yeah.
So I know.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you can call Oakland Internal Affairs, and my name is listed with them. They sent me a letter of apology because the officer, you know, I was going to file a claim, but I decided not to. They sent me a letter of apology, and now they made the police department aware of, you know, like when you're on a diplomatic status of about taking the vehicles, because, you know, if you contract with DMV, like, okay, let me explain something. Like the word vehicle, those are commercial terms, but your car or automobile, those are your private possessions, you know. So common law is never changed. It means that you have the right to travel the roadways the same as horses and wagons. So you can't really take the right of people and turn it into a crime or turn it into a privilege, because this is your personal possession. So that law has never ever changed. So I have a letter from the Senator Dianne Feinstein and the Internal Affairs. I wish I had that letter on me right now, but if you like, I can.
No, I'm believing you.
Okay.
I'm certainly believing you.
Okay.
It's just that any car that doesn't have a license plate, state of California, we have the right to stop and investigate why it doesn't have a license plate and
why?
so forth. So
okay. Check it out, because
I definitely will. All right. Well, have a good day.
Oh, thank you. Okay. What's your name, officer?
Sergeant Shira.
Sergeant. Okay.
With Sheriff's Department.
I'm Guidance Bay.
Nice to meet you.
Here.
Thank you
keep
very
that
much.
Keep that in your car and look it up, okay?
I will look it up. Thank you.
Okay. Thank
have
you.
a good day.
All right.
Wait till I back up so you don't run into me.
Okay.
Good morning.
How you doing, brother?
Officer Elvin, Metropolitan Police Department, First District.
All
The
right.
reason I stopped you was you made an improper U-turn.
A U-turn. I be seeing them do the same thing. Even y'all do the same thing, bro.
Well, that's why we're out here to educate. Absolutely. So if you have a driver's license.
Well, I don't drive. I'm a national Moor. This is my nationality papers. I have, and you're being recorded as we both are being recorded for both our safety.
Sure. No, please.
I don't use driver license because it's a fraudulent instrument. I'm a national Moor. I'm a sheik. I come out here to work the land. I just got a little bit of metal out here that I'm just going to the scrapyard. I say again, I did a U-turn. I did U-turn. I apologize about that. Please forgive me about it. This is my wife's car.
Okay.
But I am Supreme L.
And if you could have someone come.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to. Can I? You allow me to travel over there, at least park it and get my stuff out?
Absolutely.
My man, you're a good brother. You're a good brother, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you decide go over there, just be careful with the one-way streets here.
Okay. What I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go through the yard and come out on the other side and park right there, right across. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. You're a good man. God bless you, brother.
Likewise.
See, now that's a good way to move, and that's proof. And here goes my paperwork. No license, no driver's license, no nothing. All right. This is Supreme L, testimonial.
So remember that. So when they call you sovereign citizen, that's a misrepresentation. Totally. All right? So you always correct them and say, don't misrepresent me. See, because what they do, they misclassify you and then try to do a color of law action for injury. You know, like you're saying, like say for instance, you're standing there, right? They'll say things like that. Oh, he's a threat in order to justify hurting you in order to carry out Article 1 of their Klan activities. You know, so keep that in mind. And now, when you're dealing with that, so this one here says she doesn't have to give me any kind of information. That all she has to do is say her name. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. It's a beautiful thing to know the law. It really is. And I know that you're outside of law because you're acting outside of constitutional fold of government. And then we can talk about international law violations. See, before I've been kind where I always drop it and I leave it alone. But now that's piracy, human trafficking, treason, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. No one shall be arbitrarily deprived of a nationality nor the right to change one. My child is not Negro, black, or colored, and so he is not under... Are we done? All right, we're done. See ya. No, I will see you before I let you slide, but I'm not now. Very good. Very good. Kidnapping. Look at, wow. Look at all these colonizers kidnapping. You're losing your power all over the planet.
Well, it's unfortunate that a lot of people have intentionally been uninformed. I'm not even going to say miseducated, because the majority of people have not been educated. They think they've been educated, but they haven't been educated. Education includes knowing law. And on this continent, the only law is the American Constitution. In the American Constitution, it prohibits bills of attainder. And the reason it prohibits bills of attainders is, well, if you read and most importantly study the entire American Constitution, what you will find is it is protecting the people from corporate infringement. And interestingly enough, everything, and I mean everything with a capital E, that is going on with the entire motor vehicle process is absolute infringement of the people's liberties and their rights. And I like to always put in front of rights, birthrights, so that people are absolutely clear. We are talking about the rights you're born with, not anything that anyone thinks that they gave to you. And when we look at the misinformation that has been given to the people across the nation, they think, and they've been led to think this, that it's a privilege to travel when it is your birthright. And then we have to back it up and look at, okay, who is it that is giving you this privilege, and in exchange for what?